Hey guys, I'm Comic Book Movie Film Productions. With Terminator Dark Fate coming out in the theaters as of recent, it's time to rank all 6 Terminator films from worst to best. So let's not waste any more time and get into it. Coming in last place, number 6 is Terminator Genesis. Genesis is easily the most baffling installment in this series. It tries to change up the first 2 films in the most disrespectful way possible, while also introducing really confusing plot lines, blank characters in the lead, oversaturated CGI, trying too hard at callbacks to the nostalgia of the previous films, and just being an incoherent mess. Genesis easily fails on every level, apart from Schwarzenegger still being good and having some fun action here and there. At number 5 is Terminator Dark Fate. Dark Fate is another attempt to be the true sequel to T2 like the past 3 sequels have been, and once again fails to capture the magic by copying the same plot as the first 2 films, disrespecting those films once again from the get-go, while also relying on its nostalgia, not having likable new characters, and still kind of getting nothing to do, and so much more. There is a lot of fun action, the acting is good from everybody, and it's competently directed, but that isn't enough to make a good story or engaging characters, hence why the first 2 films work so well. I wouldn't mention them so much if this film wasn't such a desperate attempt to recreate those 2 films. It's not the worst one ever made, but at this point it's pretty much the final nail in the coffin for this series. At number 4 is Terminator 3 Rise of the Machines. Terminator 3 is the beginning of the end for the series, once again relying on the nostalgia of the first 2 films to grab audiences, while also throwing those films under the bus in favor of another Terminator gimmick. Focusing more on action spectacle and unfunny jokes rather than having a compelling story or likable characters. There is fun action, and Schwarzenegger is the glue that makes it watchable, even though this is probably his most embarrassing performance as the Terminator.
Talk to the hand. I'm back.
Overall, it's not atrocious, but it's not good either. At number 3 is Terminator Salvation. Salvation, although it's pretty middle of the road in my opinion, is definitely the best sequel since T2, even though that isn't saying a lot. The main thing that brings this movie up from other installments thus far is that it doesn't repeat the same storyline from the first 2 films and try something new. Even though the look is bland, the acting isn't the strongest, and there are a lot of underdeveloped ideas, it's more than just nostalgic throwbacks and time travel again. And I hope if we get more Terminator films in the future, that they do more experimental things like this film does, but hopefully better. At number 2 is The Terminator. A gigantic step up from every other installment before on this list, The Terminator shows how much you can do something with limited resources and a simple enough concept. This captures the horror and intensity of a killer robot coming to kill you from the future in the most realistic way possible. The acting is solid all around, the score is haunting, the film takes you on its ride and doesn't bore you and is incredibly entertaining, while also being iconic to cinema. There are a few outdated effects and 80s cheese, but as a whole, it's one of the best sci-fi movies ever made. But coming in first place, number 1 is Terminator II Judgment Day. T2 does what few sequels can do and improve upon the already great first film, but by changing up the form to be more action-oriented, it became a staple for the rest of the series. It was a pioneer in visual effects that all hold up to this day. The story continues from the first one that develops the characters from the first film, and also introduces us to a lot of great new characters. The dialogue is fantastic and feels real for the characters. The film's pace is great with the film being character-centric, and also having incredible action set pieces, all held together by James Cameron's near-perfect direction. It carries so many emotions and great imagery that will stick with you for years to come. This film is important and iconic to film, and is one of the most influential action films, sci-fi films, and films in general, and is one of my favorite films of all time. And that's a list. Leave your ranking down in the comments, and please don't forget to like and subscribe for more content. I'm Comic Book Movie Film Productions, signing out.